Hey, welcome to another episode of the Goalpost. And in today's episode, I'm joined by Sihle. What's happening, dog?
Ah, yeah, it's a trick question. We are hurting as a country.
Dog, we are dog. It's like we in mourning, dog. Like it's bad, my G. Like Nami on my end a bit too. Ish.
Ah, but
Ah,
uh,
it's,
ah,
it's
I think there's
painful.
there's positives. There's positives we can take away. But yeah, besides
Yeah,
that, and it was a good weekend without EPL. But
yeah,
besides that, you had the T20 World final. That was
yeah.
dramatic. You had the Formula One in Brazil. That
Dramatic.
was
Yeah.
dramatic. And then you had Bafana. So it was a good day. It was a good it was a good weekend. It feels like a day. It's like it was a good weekend.
You forgot the Springboks, bro. I
Oh
mean, we are
yes, I forgot
only
about the Springboks. Hey,
yeah.
those I almost swear. Hey, those guys scared me though. At first,
Yeah,
I was a
dog,
bit nervous.
Scotland. True.
Yeah, but I know the Springboks. They've got a tendency now of showing up second half and just
Yeah.
dominating second half. And once they start dominating, they just slowly but surely keep on pressing and pressing until you make more mistakes, and then they punish you on those. It
Yeah.
was a good weekend.
I know that's true. That's true. At least, for me, them winning is a plus. I mean, it'll give them the momentum to play against England because for me, I feel like England are the
Team to beat.
problematic team. Yeah, and the other team.
England
Them and Ireland, you see those two. Ireland, England. Hey, those two, bro. Those
in my
ones, they know
books,
how to play.
in my books, England have probably the best rugby coach that you can have, or rugby manager that you can possibly have. But anyway, that's up for discussion.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Oh, Eddie Jones, dog. Yeah. Oh, here's Modise, dog. Hey,
Hey,
Modise.
gents, how's it?
Easy, dog.
you were
Easy.
running, you were running.
No, I'm sweating hot, first of all. And I tried to switch the fan on, but I realized it's going to make so much noise. So
Hey,
that's why I didn't switch it on.
I know what you're
just
talking about. Like, literally, all the windows are open.
Yes,
yeah,
it's
dog.
boiling.
Hey, and this weather, guys, it's so confusing. At times it's
I'm,
really hot, and then it switches up.
Global
I'm,
warming. Global
Hey,
warming is a
dude.
thing. They might cancel
Yeah,
yeah,
you for saying that, but global warming is a thing.
yeah,
yeah,
hardcore.
There's too much going on with our weather system. Let's just be
yeah.
honest. It's
Yeah,
And
We've never seen weather like this.
we've
sure.
never, dog. It's so, hey, man, it's up and down, guys. And then, guys, let's get into it because I mean, this show is not about the weather; it's about football. Nah, ish, guys, ish. As in, I was so hopeful. You know what I mean? Yesterday, I was so prepared, dog. I had my tea there because I don't drink anymore, Sihle. So I had my cup of tea there and
You keep
prepared.
on pushing.
For,
How many months has it
yeah,
been now?
it's been more than a year, bro. It's been like a year and
Is
six
it?
months. Yeah, Moody said,
You
dog.
just woke up and said, I'm not doing this.
I'm over this, dog. That's what I
That's
said. I
what
told
Man
myself.
United does to his soul.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yo, it seems
yeah,
like a thing these days. There's another friend of mine who, Lena, he just woke up and said, Chief, I'm good.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I'm 2 weeks in, not drinking.
yeah.
But yeah, no. Come the 1st of December, we open up the tap.
I
I
know.
me, my tap is flowing. It's moving. It's flowing. We're within.
Yeah, yeah, guys. Okay, I wanted us to first discuss the Zimbabwe game, because I mean, in that game, for me, it was like a pressure game for us to continue that momentum, and then we'll move on to yesterday's game. So, like, from the game from Zim, like how were you guys feeling like after like watching it and seeing how we played as a team?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Can I just disturb you 2 seconds?
yeah.
Don't you want to just go back on the decision to have Hugo as our manager?
Oh
Because I
yeah,
think that filters to what happens at Safa House and for us to end up where we are, which in my books, probably we've got one of the best managers who knows how to manage a federation, if that makes sense. Because
Yes.
my view has always been the issue with Bafana is not that we don't have the right manager. It's the federation that's the issue.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true, man. Yeah, yes,
You know,
basically.
yeah, I think, when a lot of people, when Hugo came in, a lot of people had a lot of opinions, and I was one of them. Who's this guy?
Yeah,
And I know he won the AFCON with Cameroon, but I mean, really, why? Benny's on a high. This Benny's our guy. Benny's playing the best football at
yeah.
Amazulu, which, I mean, Amazulu, we don't rate them. Let's just be honest. I mean, but what he turned them into was a
Yeah.
beast. And he did the same with Cape Town City. Everybody feared playing Cape Town City because he was able to instill the right mentality into the boys, right?
Yeah.
A winning mentality. And that's what he's done now with Amazulu. And as much as they're not doing as great as they were last season, you still know when you play them, 3 points aren't guaranteed. But Hugo came in and he changed the image. And the first thing Hugo did was he changed the entire squad. Every single player now that is South African, that is playing PSL, playing overseas, nobody is guaranteed a spot. No one. Anybody can be called up at any point, young, old, whatever. But he gave the youngsters a chance. He changed the full image of the team, and the team was winning.
Yeah.
No, because I was watching his first few games. I'm like, why is he entrusting under 23s? Meanwhile, we've got players that are have experience that can show up. Because I didn't see the vision. And then after a couple of games, I noticed that he's not taking in the burden of all the toxic that was there before. He's starting afresh with these kids and he's building them up. And to be honest, sure, fine. We'll get to the game yesterday and for the first time, first time in a long time,
long time.
I was excited about Bafana. And normally it's like, Bafana Kalile. Now they've lost the game. But there was none of that after the game, even though we lost. There was none of that. It's like we're in an abusive relationship with Bafana.
Exactly.
There was none of that. I can see the positives in that. Oh, there's a style of play. Your favorite line, the X.
my G.
Literally, there's these kids feel he's entrusted them, and I love that for a manager. And I'm comfortable with losing this. I know that Isafa has lodged a complaint, and let's see what happens from that. But from where we were to where we are, it's there's progress.
This man, guys, I can just throw in some stats. I mean, he's managed 7 games. He's won 5, drew 1, and lost 1.
Lost 1.
That's incredible, guys. Like for
The
me
L
personally,
the L is last night.
It's last night, and of course that Al Nakona, guys, we were robbed. Essentially, that's what happened. We were robbed.
Not essentially, we were robbed clean.
Yeah,
it wasn't
clean.
a corner. It was literally one of those where the players were told, if the ball comes in from a corner, faint, if someone stabbed you with a blunt dagger. It was irritating, to be honest.
Was it irritating or was it typical West African football? West African and North African teams. Pizzo speaks about the stuff all the time. Those guys up there are bullies, guys. They are absolute bullies. And consistently in the CAF Champions League, I'm telling you now, Sundowns won it in 2016. I'm sorry to say, but by chance, right? Watch how much longer it's going to take again till another Southern African team wins that Champions League. And it's not because we're not good enough. Kaizer Chiefs got to the final by chance. I'm a Chiefs supporter, X. But last season I was just like,
as well.
How these guys got here,
and in the final, we were showing with this getting a back door. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Clean. They showed us that you guys are small boys. This is practice. But it's fine. We got to the final. They gave us 20 million. We're good. You understand? So, Pito speaks about the bullying. He won't speak about it now because he's part of North Africa. He's going to win, right? Yeah. But North and West Africa are pure bullies. How are you a referee in that position, literally looking at the defender and the player, and you think that is a penalty? In your mind, at that level, you know what it means for Bafana, you know what it means for Ghana.
You know what
You're
it means
from
for CAF.
Senegal.
Yes, you know what it means for CAF as a whole, in that the whole world is watching, and you put up a performance like that. Ah, come on.
No, then he knows he's just cost himself the World Cup. He's cost himself refereeing at AFCON.
Password.
You
Oh,
understand?
we
So
lost X. He's coming back.
Sorry about that, guys. Yeah.
No,
no,
no
no
worries.
worries, no worries.
But
So
yes,
all I'm
Modise,
saying is that we've been bullied for far too long, and with Motsipe being in the hot seat right now, he's got to take action, one way or the other. We cannot keep. If they do nothing about this, remember for the 2018 World Cup when we played Senegal and we had to replay that game
play the game.
because
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
something similar to this.
Hmm?
Now
Yes.
all of a sudden, all this cuck happens. Let's see if they will let us replay this
That's
game again.
that's what I'm interested in. If SAFA have lodged a complaint, let's see if the review board that's going to look at the footage, the whole game, are they going to go right ahead and make the same decision that was taken when we played when we had to replay Senegal. But
Senegal.
Yeah.
the bully mentality, it's not just only on the field. Like literally, I was listening earlier on.
Yeah.
Sam is like, I blame Patrice.
How is this CAF president not learned the dark arts? You know what I mean?
Because
Harry Potter style.
no,
Yeah, but
because
like,
that seat is all business, guys. There's
Yeah.
nothing else to it. It's all rich kid, rich kid on the block in Africa. We're giving him the seat. It means so much for him for from a business perspective, and as well as for CAF. There's nothing else to it. There
yeah,
was so many politics around him getting that seat. We would have expected that he would do more for the Southern African teams.
Yeah.
What has
it's
he
quite
done? I
funny.
mean,
It's
let's
quite
see
funny
what
you
action
say
he will
that.
take now.
That when all these millionaires and billionaires, they have this itch to take over everything. Tokyo Sekwal at one point wanted that seat. It's
FIFA.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like,
You wanted FIFA.
He wanted
yeah, it's
FIFA
like.
also.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, nah.
But yeah, back to the bullying. The bullying is not just
Yeah.
only on the field. Literally, apparently, when Bafana landed, they were to the hotel. They used a route which is it's bumpy. They were diverted to use that particular route. It was bumpy, and it took them I don't know how many hours for
9
them to get
hours.
to the hotel.
9
Yeah.
hours.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
then the other tricks that have been used, they call it dark art, but it's tricks where outside your hotel, they will literally just get a band to play throughout the whole night. So as a
yeah. I see.
sportsman, you don't sleep, you deprive of sleep, and they call it dark art. But whenever these guys come this side of the world, I promise you, we are too, I wouldn't say
We nice.
soft. Yeah,
Mm.
we
We
offer them,
hospitable. We
yeah.
hospitable. Yeah.
But at what point are we going to learn from them that, okay, sure, fine. If we're going to be playing in Cape Town, let them land in Joburg and let them drive down to Cape Town.
Yes.
No, like literally, we need to get to that point as well.
But
You.
but let's be real.
Yeah.
If we had to do that, right? Someone like Andrea, who he'll sponsor the whole team's flights, clean. He'll do
Yeah.
it. He'll say out of my own pocket, he'll do it. Now, in our teams, it's not that we don't have guys who can stretch or each guy can't pay from their own pockets. Nobody knows Ghana. Nobody
Yeah.
knows Ghana. Everybody knows South Africa.
So then,
You understand? So
you should speak to the federation in that if we know we've got a game, don't let the Ghanaian federation take care of our travel arrangements. We must sort that out ourselves. We
Yeah. I
have
exactly.
to
mean,
stay
yeah.
where how our travel arrangements, our security arrangements. We shouldn't depend on the
Yeah.
other federation to go rather than take care of that. Because
Yeah.
we
That's
know
true.
we've you remember how they bullied Mark Fish at one point, where he
Mm,
literally came back with two faces.
mm,
Yo.
mm.
Damn.
Aye, man, and it's not the first time, guys. This happens to Bafana. We drag Bafana through a lot of things, and it's not the first time this happens to Bafana in Africa. And, sadly, maybe because, having traveled myself to a lot of African countries, if you go up west, they'll tell you how much South Africans think we live in a Europe or whatever the case is. But the same local guys want to come live in our country. The same local guys want to come work in our country. Why must they give us such treatment? South Africa is the country that Ghana played Zimbabwe in. Did they get bad hospitality? No. So
No, they
now,
didn't.
why must we fly? I mean, it's far. Ghana's far, guys. It's
Yeah, I know
far.
it is.
Why must guys travel so far? Why can't we just carry ourselves as professionals? And that is why African football will never reach the levels of European football. We're just not professional. That's just it.
But then you've got the final, the Champions League final, where VAR was used, and it was used successfully. And you've got the last qualifying matches for a World Cup, which is the World Cup is the prize possession FIFA has. So why can't CAF go right ahead and say, well, for all the last games, all the last 2 games, we're going to have VAR interventions?
Dude.
Why can't we just have VAR, period?
Period.
I mean, why can't we? Why can't we have
It's
VAR,
not like
period?
the money is not there.
But also, another thing that we need to speak about that people aren't is, why does Africa have such a complex system in qualifying for the damn World Cup? Look at now what's happening in Europe. Exactly. Look what's happening in Europe. Portugal now lost to Serbia last night, 2-1.
Yeah.
They didn't qualify, but they go to playoffs. So they still have a chance of qualifying. We won all our games in our group except the draw against Zimbabwe and except the loss last night, right?
Yeah.
And we came second, probably the best performing team in that group.
Yeah.
And you throwing us completely off?
It's Angti as well. Modise said, dog, the number of teams that get selected for Africa is just only 5, whereas Europe is more than 5, bro. And so that's another thing, Nami, as well, I feel like is a bit unfair. I feel like each and every continent needs to have a similar number of representatives in the tournament, But I mean,
honestly, it's frustrating, and after the game it hurt. But it is what it is. But back to the manager that we have right now. Not to drive the conversation. I think the previous game was a very important game, and he said we won't accept anything but a win, and the boys delivered. Watch the game. There's a couple of other chances we should have buried. We didn't, but we walked away with the 3 points, of which, end of the day, that's what we were looking for. And then we go to Ghana. In us going to Ghana, in the back of my mind, I'm like, yo, they are going to really properly, the ref is going to really proper F us up. Because we got ourselves in a position where we were dependent on a result for that night.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that we were the second best team, bar the loss last night. But if you watch that decision over and over and over again, you can just see the manager Hugo is like, what more can one do?
Yo, bro, it's just disheartening, bro. I mean, you worked so hard to get where you are. I mean, with the tools, but Hugo had no tools, guys, pretty much, to build the squad. Orlando Pirates, for one, didn't want to release their players. It was just a tough,
I still struggle with that.
Exactly.
No, I still struggle with that.
I also do, because when it comes to the national team, we have to ensure that the best players are available, because it's for the
Forget
country.
that, X. Yeah. Your chairperson is the what at SAFA?
Man.
Like, how does that make sense?
Conflict of interest, guys. That's Africa for you.
Does Iron Duke even understand what conflict of interest means? If you walk up to him and say, no, the position which you're holding right now, it conflicts with.
Sihle, I fear that man, dog. I don't want to say anything bad about him, dog. Like, I don't I don't want him to come for us. But I do get what you mean, dog. Even your chairman, guys, Bob Kaiser. Nice, he's also there and stuff, isn't he? Exactly. So come on,
like,
dog.
Where's the respect? Where's the respect for the national side? Like, locally, as a country, it doesn't get higher than the national side. Can you imagine this happening in one of the franchises in the rugby union, where I don't know,
or even
cricket, the franchises No,
When
we're
last
not.
did
We're not
Rabada
releasing.
play the Lions? There's no that thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. They release. They know
But we
national
don't,
score or
I
nothing.
don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Now it says true, gents. Africa needs a standard criteria, VAR for all continents. Yeah, essentially, better. That's what
Yeah.
needs to happen. Yeah,
But even
this
the
thing.
PSL, the best
Yeah,
league in Africa, why do we
Africa.
not have VAR?
You see, because
People are still chowing with those brown envelopes.
of course, man.
That's
Hey,
the problem.
that is the
And our
problem.
development system is so bad. I'm sure you guys saw the video that was trending on Twitter where in the ABC Mutsipe League, they were beating up the referee or what. Why?
Yeah.
Why do we
I
have
didn't
that
see that.
behavior? No, serious. There was a video that was
There
trending where
was.
they were fighting the referee on the field. And
Yeah.
my man, this thing is it's an exchange of envelopes, my man. And
Yeah.
if you look at it, and one thing, there's one thing that I hate about the PSL, and I'll hate it for a very long time. It's this thing of buying status, and that's
Ish,
why our football is going
dude.
like this.
Yeah,
Boss,
it
we
is.
don't have Bloemfontein Celtic. If you
Such a
understand South
legendary
African
team,
football, you know that team was vital to the PSL.
dude.
But at the same time, let's speak about sponsors.
Hmm.
Nobody's sponsoring our local teams, Chief. Nobody. The only teams that have
I think
sponsors is Pirates and Chiefs,
Yeah.
Super Sport here and there, because all the other
Yeah.
teams, Golden Arrows is getting by.
Yeah. No, that's true,
you
bro.
speak on sponsorship. There was a point where Chiefs had, I think it was 15 sponsors, and then
Yeah.
Cobra was one of the sponsors. Your Chiefs.
Yeah.
And you then look at your other teams that have to just go by with the allowance that they're given by the league, and you think they're going to compete. No, man.
They're not, bro. And even with Royal AM, bro, I'm not sure if you guys saw Umam Kise pulling through with duffel bags there with Ama 200, just handing them out to players.
She is
like
a breath of fresh air. Just so that we can get a very good look in the mirror of this is the state of PSL.
yeah,
Yes.
pretty much. Yeah, that just yeah.
The duffel bag stand, you pull that in your in your under 17s whenever they are playing and they're having fun, and you go right ahead in with the duffel bag. It's a professional league, and when are you gonna put the duffel bag and pay players like that? No, man.
Dude. Oh,
So
man.
it questions the state of football. So yes, Safa Hugo has done a great job.
Yeah.
But it questions the state of our football. We have one team dominating left, right, and center.
Yo.
You play against them, you beat them, they buy that player that scored. They don't play,
Yeah.
they double their salary, and then they
Yeah.
move.
Let's
The
be
state
honest.
of our football is
Chiefs-
on a low, and Safa needs to come to the party now.
Chiefs used to do that back in the day. Whenever you play against Chiefs and you're a star for that team,
Yeah.
Chiefs will go right ahead and buy you. So
But
literally,
Chiefs was
Sundowns,
yes, but Chiefs also had a mix of development players. Sundowns doesn't have that, guys. Chiefs had when last did Kaizer Chiefs actually go to the market, for example, and buy a goalkeeper?
Aren't
For
you guys
example,
normally? Yeah.
they come from our development, my man.
Yeah, but
And-
you're very good at that, though. You guys normally produce quality goalkeepers over the years,
Oh.
guys. You've been producing quality goalkeepers.
All I'm saying, Exne, is that
Yeah.
we've got such a weak development system. And I always say, look at 96, or the team that we had in 96 that were all playing, 90% of them were playing in Europe. But at the
Yeah.
same time, you look at their development from a football perspective over the years. It's either they went to Europe at a young age or they came through the School of Excellence. Look at Keegan Doley. He's a product
yeah.
of School of Excellence. You can see it. You
Yeah.
can see that this guy was developed from a young age. You can just look at him and see it.
What happened to the School of Excellence? Wasn't this? I think
Corruption.
Transnet was
Corruption. Corruption.
Yeah, because even Pienaar's from there. Stephen Pienaar is also from the School
Exactly.
of Excellence as well.
Product of School of Excellence, Baba.
Yes.
I mean, it's
so
gone.
as a country, we don't deserve nice things.
No.
Man.
So we've got a good coach who's trying to instill the right mentality, and I like what he does. He doesn't take nonsense from
Yeah.
anybody. He doesn't care whether you're a star player, whether hey, I don't care. Pesita is play. I mean, Tembazwane is playing what? Hey, he's not calling Tembazwane. He's old. He must stay home. You understand, and he's built the right mentality in the squad. But the bullying, yes, we can talk about, but we've also got to talk about our local football administration, which is
Yeah.
why I miss Robert Marawa's show, because he
Ish, bro.
addressed all of those issues of our poor football administration that isn't getting fixed, and that is
And
why our
you ask
rugby is
yourself,
shining.
and you ask
Yeah.
yourself, why is Rob no longer on the radio? And
Ish,
it's
bro.
exactly that. It's
Or
egos
TV,
and
or
corruption.
even
It's
TV.
Yeah.
egos and corruption. That when one person does something which is the amount of numbers that used to tune in to Rob's show,
Man,
MTN, and right now
Guys,
you need to tell me like who can go right ahead and pull those numbers?
no one,
not
dog. Because
not
yeah,
Thomas.
yeah, because not Thomas. I'm not saying that he's whack in any way,
He's my man.
Thomas.
He's whack. Have you
Ah,
listened to
come
his
on.
interviews?
Ah, come on, guys.
Okay,
Whoa.
you the host.
What
You
he
the host.
said.
You can't go out and say it, but we're allowed to say it.
No. Guys, for me, guys, like personally, he's not on the levels of Umalum Rob. Like Umalum Rob, for me, he's elite. He's world class at what he does. If this was soccer, he's Bayern Munich, pretty much. And
Mhm.
Thomas, he's not like
Coventry.
terrible. It's just that the
It's Coventry.
standards. It's just the standards are between him and Umalum Rob are quite significant.
X,
And
have you listened to his show lately?
yeah, I have. It's not the same, dog. I know.
No.
Have you not gotten the vibe that he tries too hard
Yeah.
to be like Robert, but not show that he's trying to be like Robert?
Ish, man. Ugh.
And that's the problem. If you
Yeah.
don't have the talent, you can never pull it through. He's trying so hard. He's trying so hard to bring what Robert brought because they believe that will bring the numbers. But Chief,
Yeah.
you're not Robert.
You know it.
He's trying to copy the source.
Yeah, it really is. But I know that's true. That's true, dog. Like Modise, and as well, Malum Rob speaks to the people as well. He speaks to the general public as
Exactly.
well. And that's what
Exactly.
makes him so different, dog.
At the peak of Rob's show,
Yo.
you'd get home literally if you get home before his show finishes, you will sit in the car, you will finish the show.
Clean.
Yeah. Clean. That's how I was
Clean.
as well. And all sports. And essentially that's the level I'm trying to reach, gents. Like,
Like
reach
literally
those
you'll
highs,
sit down,
dog.
you'll finish it in
You'll
the
get
car,
there,
and
my
then
man.
only then you go in
Yeah.
the house. That's
No,
it.
and X, I'm telling you, you'll get there. You just have to trend once with these
Yeah.
things. You have to
Yeah.
trend once and hit the topic that will hit the nail on the coffin, and that's it. I mean, I remember, and people never say it in public what Robert has done. This SJN inquiry with the cricket, and I know I'm going a bit off the wagon here, but this SJN inquiry of the cricket, where did it start? It started on Robert Marawa's show.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then this commission of inquiry came about.
I remember
This
it was a
transformation
Tuesday.
issue in rugby, when Siya Kolisi was made captain, where did it start? With the room dividers.
Yeah, room dividers.
With the
That was
room
a show.
dividers.
That's a show and a
Boss,
half, bro.
They
Yo.
made Figile Mbalula shake. Figile Mbalula and Robert are friends, but they weren't talking.
Yeah.
They weren't talking during, because Figilo was Minister of Sports at the time, and he was pressing him with all these questions about that. So at the end of the day, we need that type of thing to be able to fix the issues that are happening at SAFA. But because the people have money, they've taken people like Robert away, and that's why we're stuck with these issues, and that's why the Ghanas of this world, the Ghanas of this world can bully us. Everybody can bully us, and that's why we'll be number one until the end, and then they'll throw us off, and we'll come second, and we're not part of the World Cup. Same thing will happen with the next AFCON. Same thing will happen with the next World Cup. My man, we were speaking with the guys on Saturday that, gents, we have to make sure we try go to Qatar for this World Cup. But what's the point? What's the point now? I'm not going to go to Spain to support who?
Yeah,
choose an African country or choose Ghana for one.
No, I'm not going to go for Ghana, and I'm not going to go for Senegal. You understand? And that's the thing. I'm not going to go for Egypt either. They don't like us. Maybe because Roger Dassa is there. Yeah, maybe. You understand? But No, my man. Like at the end of the day, we need to fix our football administration issues, understand the development of soccer and football, grow our academies. Yes, Chiefs
Yeah,
has an academy, Pirates has an academy, Supersport has an academy. All these guys have academies, but we're not seeing the fruits of what they're
yeah,
doing on the ground. You
Yeah.
understand?
yeah,
There in Brixton, when I used to study at UJ, what's that team? Stars of Africa or whatever, where Tulani Rant is from. They used to
yeah,
practice there in Brixton. Those are the
yeah,
type of academies we need. And we need to make sure we're pulling our craft out of there. We need
yeah,
to make
yeah,
sure
yeah.
we have a national team player that's 17.
Yeah,
You
exactly,
understand?
bro.
We need
That's
But
to
you
make
know,
sure we
you know what the trend now, Modise,
yeah,
the trend now is that these scouts from Europe, they go to these small, you under 13s, you under 14, you under 15 sites. They need pick players that they can foresee that there's talent here. They just need nurturing, and they move them to Europe. So you'll never get to that point because we are constantly bleeding talent
yeah,
purely because of poor administration. And it's the same thing that's going to happen in rugby, or it was happening, but they are trying to,
yeah,
to block that. Cricket also. But with soccer, it's we are continuously going to just be bleeding young talent. And it's irritating, to be honest. But the most irritating part of it is that our government, I don't know, they don't really treat soccer as they used to, as
dude.
in it can change lives, as in
are we
the amount of
yeah,
money
but
that's there.
no, but we must get to the
Yeah,
point, Sitle, man. It's corporate SA also.
yeah.
Corporate SA, I always say, who watches the Dolphins playing against the Titans? Nobody.
No one.
Nobody in this country
Yeah,
can tell me that they watch our club cricket in this country. Have you seen the amount of sponsors those guys have at that
damn.
level?
Mm,
At that level, they've got sponsors for everything. They've got sponsors on their shorts, on their shirts, on their bats, on everything. You have Golden Arrows, which has
mm-hmm.
been in the PSL for the longest of times,
Who's
who's
their kid
struggling to
sponsor?
find a sponsor. Eh? Who's their kid
Yeah,
sponsor? We had Celtic, who struggled after they lost MTN.
yeah,
Celtic, with such a huge fan base. The
yeah,
whole of Free
Right.
State supports
Do you
Celtic.
remember? Do you remember what the people of Free State did for us in the World Cup 2010? The show they put on.
dude, dude. Yes,
No, no, but we can't speak. This guy says, I mean, no matter how you present it, if I'm an investor sponsor, why would I put money if it's going to get chowed anyway? My man, at the end of the day, we live
mm,
in South Africa, my man. Who says that the cricket money is not getting chowed? Yes, they've got a good administration, but look at Chiefs and Vodacom and Pirates. They've grown
That
the brand
relationship.
of those
Yeah.
clubs. Yes,
big
through
time.
that. Black label, all these things. At the end of the day, you don't need a huge corporate to sponsor. Look at Stellenbosch. Yes, their owner is Johan Rupert, but they took a small brand within his group, Rama, and they put it
Yeah,
on the jersey. Bah. It's
wow,
sustaining the
Those-
business. Why
it
can't
is.
we take, I don't know, bloody, I don't know, Shreps and put it on one of these jerseys somewhere?
Yeah,
That's all you need to sustain and run football. If you,
yeah,
to compete with Sundowns, can you imagine how much Sundowns payroll is?
dude,
Can you
it's
imagine how much
insane.
Sundowns'
Loads of-
payroll is?
How many players?
I
How
know.
many players do they have?
Yeah,
Exactly. And they getting the best out of every single player because why? We know that if we win, Mutsepe doesn't want that money.
yeah,
He's going to give that money to us. So in essentially, I'm playing for myself. Now,
mm,
those other guys are not playing for themselves. Marumo Gallants, when they won the Nedbank Cup as TTM, they were struggling to get bonuses from the
dude.
Nedbank Cup.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
I mean, we've got to be real. At the end of the day, we need our teams to be sponsored at the right level. We need the right support, even for Bafana, to
yeah.
have the right sponsor, the right backing, the right type of people with money behind them. Why is Johan Rupert sponsoring Stellenbosch but ignoring Bafana Bafana?
And I think
Why?
the
It's
time is now.
wow.
The time is now. We've got a manager who's got a plan, who's shown that,
Yeah,
hey, I can deliver. I just need you guys to
Exactly.
back me
to
up.
work with me.
Exactly.
Yeah. And another thing is as well, I always tell people, especially people who are pessimistic about our football, for the mere fact that once upon a time we were giants. of football. It means we can still go back to those days, bruh. It really does mean we can. It just only goes down to the administration, you know. Once we
Yeah,
get that sorted, we
it's a
will be
project that's
back.
not going to happen overnight. It's
Yeah,
not like you're going to wake up tomorrow morning and hey, we're back to where we were. It's going to take
yeah,
us time. But
yeah,
in that time, the manager is perfect. So
yeah,
I applaud Safa for electing this manager. Now
yeah.
let's move
Can they
forward
back
and
him?
back him.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
must
but will
just
the
back him,
clubs
bro.
back him? Will the clubs
I
back
know
him?
they decide
But
no,
there's
they
only
don't.
one thing. There's one thing I don't like about this manager, and I'm going to address it now.
Yeah, yeah, Jason.
Why is this manager not calling up Rivaldo Kutsia?
Uyamvuma ukuthi boy.
Yeah,
Kutsia,
Yeah.
he can play center back. He can play CDM.
Yeah, CDM.
We are
Is it?
playing Njabulo Ngobo as CDM, who can't play CDM. He's a clean, pure defender. Now you have a Kutsia who's experienced, who's
Yeah,
talented, who's versatile, who's young, that can play both roles, and that's where we are lacking.
yeah.
Why are we not calling up that guy?
No,
Yeah.
like I could go on about like mistakes that we made yesterday. I rate that kid.
Yeah.
What's his name? Brooks. I rate him. I watched
Yeah.
him a couple of times, and I rate him. He's one for the future that we need to look out for. But he was getting very bullied last night. He didn't have the best of games. When who's the Chiefs star player came on?
Utodi.
Yeah, when Keegan came on, you
Yeah.
could see there was a bit of movement going forward. We started threatening them. There were a couple of chances where we wanted a pen,
but he was never gonna get it because
yeah,
he's not Ghanaian.
he was hopeful. He was just fighting dust for nothing. But besides that, I'm not gonna fight him. Last night he stood no chance against a ref like that.
Yeah.
But I've got faith in him. In Hugo. Hugo is my boss.
No, 100%, and I don't dispute that. Ethan Brooks has had even the first game we played against Ghana. Ethan chowed them. As big as those guys were, he gave them. Hey, he showed them flavors in the midfield. But for me,
game, he reminded. Sorry, man. Let me interject real quick. He reminded me of Billy Gilmore's first game against Liverpool.
Oh
his first game against for Chelsea against Liverpool, where he bullied Liverpool at the peak of their powers. That was Brooks in his first game.
Yeah, no,
so
that's true.
No, but
yeah,
go X. No,
no. I was also saying, guys, especially what I also liked about how Bafana has played under Coach Hugo is the intensity, guys. Our games are much more fast paced, and as well, he's trying. What I'm seeing is that he's trying to turn us into a team rather that knows how to retain possession instead of us constantly giving away the ball. We, when we won the ball, we more comfortable than what we were previously, and so that's why Nami yesterday. What impressed me more is that we actually matched these guys when it came to intensity. We were as quick as they were, and we were more and as tenacious as they were, even in tackles. But we were going in at tackles, and these guys are bigger than us. Jordan Ayew, Jordan Ayew is a pace merchant, even for Crystal Palace.
He can't play football.
Special.
That one,
nothing special. I rate his older brother more. At least
much more.
Tere Ayew is much more better, but Jordan is just a pace merchant, and I was just impressed by how we handled him when it came to intensity, So, man,
yeah.
The country is hurting. The country is hurting.
Yeah, no, it is.
We're bleeding. No, we're bleeding, and we're gonna complain until they sort this stuff out. Because at the end of the day, Chief, we were unfairly chowed. We were unfairly chowed, and that's just it. And at the end of the day, if we just accept it and what, I was just glad that guy Thomas wasn't playing. Thomas Partey, I'm scared of that guy.
Partey is a problem.
Hey, that guy's good. That guy is good.
He's like
He's
the only one I rate from Ghana. Like, that's, to be honest with you, out of all the.
But in all fairness, also if we look at it, and if we made it to the next round, you have Morocco.
That's my next question, bro.
You have Algeria.
Yeah.
You have Nigeria.
Yeah.
You have this Senegal. I'm not going to count
Yeah.
Ghana because they weren't going to be there. And you
Yeah.
have Egypt.
Yeah.
We were going to have to fit in at the cost of one of these teams to go to the World Cup. Now,
And
Algeria, Chief, Algeria is playing the best football in Africa today.
yeah, they're the best team in my opinion. Yeah.
As a national team. As a
Yeah.
national team. They're playing the best football today.
Yeah.
Senegal,
against
you
Nigeria.
can't rule out Sadio Mane.
Yeesh, dude. And Senegal
No, I'm
has
getting to
players,
Nigeria.
bro. And Senegal has
I'm
players.
getting
Nabo Kouyaté from West Ham. Oh
Kuyat.
no,
Thank
from
you.
Palace. Like,
Kudubale. All
yeah.
those guys.
Your
Yes.
goalkeeper, Sihle Umenti. Uyazozigeza.
That guy,
Uyazosiba yonke into.
he knows how to keep a clean sheet.
You see.
You understand?
Yeah.
Then we get to Nigeria with Iheanacho,
Eish.
Ahmed Musa. If they call up Victor Moses running there, and I've left out. Don't forget, I haven't included Cote d'Ivoire because I think they were coming second or something.
Yeah.
You understand? So we have to beat Nigeria. Then who didn't I mention? Then there's Morocco as well.
Yeah.
You understand?
Hakimi.
That Chelsea boy, Hakimi, he's there.
Yeah. And Benrahma.
Yo.
This is my view. This is my view on that. I would have rather crossed that bridge when we get there than to be cheated like we were cheated. Now, my next question, which I'm wondering is, so how long does this lodge complaint process take? Because you don't want to kick off the first games of the next leg without this being resolved.
Honestly, let's forget about it. If I'm honest, North and West Africa in charge, Chief, of African football. They're going to prolong this thing for the longest of time. Unless Motsepe puts his foot down and says, Chief, I'm president here. I'm from South Africa. I'm going to show you guys now. We're doing this now. We're stopping all these playoffs, whatever, telling FIFA, that guy, that president of FIFA is his friend. He must phone him and tell him we're stopping this thing. And until this issue is resolved, we replay the match. We get a neutral referee, even from Europe, who doesn't give a shit, has nothing to lose. Comes there, rest the game 90 minutes, boom, clean. VAR if you have to, boom, clean. But we can't do it only for this game because there were issues about the DRC game as well.
Yeah, with Benin.
There's that penalty.
With Benin.
I know that one was worse, bro. That one was worse. Guys, that was yo. And James shared that on our group, right? When I saw that, I was so livid, bro. It made me even more angry. Wow, really?
Send it to me there on WhatsApp. I read about it. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I'll
share it with you. Yeah.
And when after you watch it for the third time, you're going to laugh. The first two times you were angry. Like proper angry.
Like, dog, there was nothing there at all. At all. No contact, no dog.
The striker lost the ball. It was a cross. Yeah. It was a cross that was coming. Striker wasn't going to reach it.
But another thing is as well.
No, penalty. And you saw the way that he was running, excited. Dude. Penalty. And
as well,
like, no, man.
Yeah, because even the Benin players froze and they were like, like, what's going on? Like, Chief, are you giving is it a an offside call perhaps? Or like, can't you know? It's like, Chief, it's a penalty.
Which one is this one? Which one is this one? Chief?
Yeah.
And that's what's happening in African football, guys. That is exactly what. And because we don't have VAR, they give 0, 0, 0 toots. They don't care because they know there's no repeat. Repeat is on TV. It's done. It's done. You lost. Otherwise, Chiefs could have beat Pirates 3-1. We would have had penalty again first half when Tulani touched the ball with his hand. Bah. Chiefs would have, you see, we just need VAR in Africa, and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Those VAR cameras are gonna burn. It's the same reason why. It's the same reason why our police system, our police service, is still using dockets.
To take a statement. But Chief, at what point are we gonna improve the way
Yeah.
this continent is run, my man. And honestly,
Yeah.
that's why we're losing a lot of our talent to Europe and America and even Australia
Yeah.
and New
And
Zealand
New
because of
Zealand.
what's happening in this country. Our country is not improving, Chief. It's
Mm,
not getting better at anything. Our
mm,
administration in football is nonsense.
mm.
The administration in government is nonsense. You
Yeah,
just
guess
look at
what?
a holistic picture of Africa and then South Africa. And then you think, yes, we've got the infrastructure. Yes,
Yeah.
we can look at all the places people come to travel and eat their nice pounds and euros there from
Yeah.
far. But at the end of the day, the country is in such a poor state that
Mm.
it needs to get better. But it's because the money is with the minority and not with the majority. And if
So
that was to
Modise,
change, a lot would change.
Modise,
Yeah.
I laugh. I'm like, we are so we no longer gone are the days where you are a child of Africa and then it stays there. Whenever you want to see what's going on in the world, you need to make an effort to see. Now we are literally, the internet has provided us with the platform of being international residents. But if you
Yeah.
want to really get a firm reminder as to who you are, as in the greater scheme of things, speak to your leaders. Your leaders will remind you that you are an African child, and by reminding you, they minuscule the way your view of the whole world, and it will always be like that. Where you watch EPL.
Uh-huh.
Okay, EPL it's a bit drastic from my side to use it as an example because it's literally the best league in the world. And you understand the passion that comes with the fans because of the money that's involved and whatnot. And you
Mm,
look at us, money was put in as a
Yeah.
package in football, but guess what happened? Because now going to a Josie to watch soccer, you're like, nah, safety, security. It's one of those ways.
mm,
It's all
Yeah.
connected, and we will forever be
mm.
reminded that you are African and you're
Yeah.
tiny.
Ish.
That we've got to make it better, right? I mean,
We have to,
I'm
bro.
sorry, guys, and I know we're running out of time, but I don't know if you
Yeah.
have been to like a cricket game and a rugby game, and you look at the cricket game there at Wanderers, right,
Wanderers. Yeah.
where everybody is free.
Yeah.
Everybody is happy. If nobody's worried, the guys just want to go there, grab their beers, drink their beers, watch the game. And let's be
Yeah.
honest, if you watch a live cricket game, you can barely see. The pitch is in the middle, chief of the
Yeah.
pitch. What can you see if that's a York? You can't see, right? You
Nothing.
can,
And you
Yeah.
only celebrate.
honestly,
You
I
only
prefer.
You
celebrate
just
when
see the
when
celebrate.
the other
Yeah.
players are celebrating.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
then it's a six. Then you see the ball. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I prefer
Yeah.
watching cricket on TV. But all I'm saying is the experience that you get when you go and watch the game live makes you go back because nobody's worried about security. Nobody's worried about safety. On the other
Yeah.
hand, go to Soccer City. I can tell you, last time I went to watch a derby, they probably tried to rob me 5 times,
Oh.
literally in the stadium. In the stadium, when you're trying to go
Yeah.
buy a beer, someone's trying to search you. When you're
Yeah.
walking and you're holding stuff, someone's trying to hold you. When you're doing
Yeah.
this, someone's trying to do that. Why? Why can't I just go watch a game of football, which I can enjoy the live experience? Because in football, you can see everything that is happening on the
Yeah.
field. Everything that is happening,
Offside.
free kick,
Yeah.
offside, dribbles by two, you see it all,
Yeah.
right? That is happening. So you can enjoy the experience, right? I mean, even the time when I went to watch the Sundowns and Barcelona game, it was
Yeah.
such a hassle to even get in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do we have those problems? I think X, you mentioned it the last time, or someone
Yeah.
mentioned it on one of these programs where we said if you look at Soccer City's capacity is 90,000 people. Go
Yeah.
to a stadium there in London somewhere, it's 45,000, but it's
45. Yeah.
controlled much better than ours. And we
Yeah,
can
it's
bring in a lot
efficiently
more
ran.
revenue. We can
Yeah.
Yeah.
bring in a lot more revenue with Soccer City alone than they can with that stadium. Why do we
Yeah.
still have these problems in Africa? We have such beautiful stadiums around this country.
Dude.
Why do we have these problems? They're standing there looking nice.
Mm.
In Africa, power is hogged to the point where the person that's
Dude.
hogging the power doesn't know what is going on the ground.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
expect that
That's.
person to move forward.
Yeah.
In any case,
Yeah.
in closing, so who's going to win the
Yeah.
World Cup? Then we can say goodbye.
Uh.
Um,
And
yeah, one of the Euros, I had France as my
yeah,
African country. Those boys disappointed me, so they have to make it up. I think, I think France is gonna take it, but
yo,
Belgium
bro.
has got a point to prove.
Belgium.
Aye, those ones are chokers.
They're chokers, dog. They like
They're like,
man.
are they like the Proteas?
Yeah, clean.
Bro, clean, dog.
They
They
worse
chokers.
actually.
Yeah. I with me, bro. Like I'm always biased to the French team, dog. Like the reason why I watch football is because of Zinedine Zidane. That's my
Yeah.
favorite player of all time, and so I always support the French. They should win with the squad that they have. It's should win. You know, Deschamps is always under pressure, bro. Even in the UEFA Nations League final, the French had to win that, bro, because it would have been, as much as Spain are a good team, with the talent that the French have, man. Like, come on, man.
But we always seem to forget
Yeah.
the German machine.
And I was about to say, I
Yeah.
never in any World Cup rule out Germany. Ever.
No, of course. No, of
Ever.
course. Just
Ever. So for me, honestly, I believe Brazil will come back in this World Cup. Personally, I believe Brazil will
Wow.
win it. Personally, I know it's a bit of a stretch, but Brazil has a World Cup for them is a big deal. So they will go all out and do everything they can to win it. But I never rule out Germany. And I see France, I see whatever. But for me, if it's not Brazil, it's definitely Germany.
So Modise, you see your favorite baller, Fred, lifting the World Cup there, man.
He won't be in the squad. He won't be in the squad.
Bro, they still calling up Fred. What you mean?
Watch them cut him out just before the World Cup. He'll be in the 32-man squad. He's not making the 23-man squad.
You a hater, bro. How can you hate on Pastor Fred? But anyway, guys, thank you so much for availing yourself. This was a
We forgot about Italy, by the way. But anyway, yes.
They were lucky.
That ship has sailed.
They were lucky. Those ones are gone. They can defend. They're gonna defend with Bonucci and Chiellini until when?
To win. Yeah, no,
how old
that's
will they
true.
be? I think like 40 or something.
Yeah,
Exactly.
pretty much.
So you can't.
It'll be old man, dog. Yeah. But anyway, gents, thank you so much for availing yourself. Guys, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Help me out with the algorithm. As Modise said, that I just need one video to go viral for me to be on the levels of Robert Marawa. Please help me reach that level. This is the goalpost, guys. Peace out.
Peace out.
Cheers, man.